Proverbs chapter 16, verse 2. All the ways of a man are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirit. Our natural inclination is to trust our own moral self-assessment. We assume that because our intentions feel sincere, our actions must be right. We are remarkably skilled at justifying ourselves, explaining away sin as necessity, calling self-interest wisdom, and labeling pride as confidence. In our own eyes, our ways feel pure because we are both the defendant and the judge. The proverb confronts that instinct by shifting the courtroom. All the ways of a man are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirit. Proverbs reminds us that human self-evaluation is deeply unreliable. What matters most is not how right we feel about our choices, but what is actually motivating them. God does not merely examine external behavior, He weighs the inner life, the desires, loves, fears, and loyalties that drive us. Wisdom, then, begins with humility, the recognition that I am not the best interpreter of my own heart. In my own life, this proverb reminds me that almost everyone genuinely believes they are making the sensible and right choice for their life. People are rarely acting with cartoonish evil motives. Even when a decision looks wrong, or even foolish to me, it is usually being made with sincere reasons, real fears, and deeply felt convictions. Rarely is someone waking up and saying, "I want to ruin my life today." More often, they are choosing what feels safest, most responsible, or least painful, given the information and emotional weight they're carrying. Remembering this helps me de-villainize their motives. It means I stop assuming malice or ill will where there is often weakness, and pride where there is often fear or ignorance. When I let that truth settle in, my tone changes. I become less sharp and more patient. I listen more and assume less. I can speak truth without sitting in judgment. And I'm reminded that the same grace I need for my blind spots is the grace others need for theirs. This proverb gets me off the judgment seat. It reminds me that while I can assess actions, I'm not qualified to weigh hearts. Only the Lord does that. When I remember that God alone weighs the spirit, I'm freed from assuming I see more clearly than others. I can disagree without condemning and discern without despising. In the end, this verse calls me to humility, trusting the Lord to judge rightly while I respond with patience, charity, and grace. Today's takeaway question is, who in my life do I need to step off the judgment seat and trust God to weigh, since it is the Lord that judges their true motives? If you enjoyed today's daily proverb, please like and share this with a friend. Today's daily proverb is brought to you by Sabbath Space. Reduce your screen time by 81% by temporarily blocking apps and notifications. Spend less time scrolling and more time with God and real-life connections. Download Sabbath Space today on the iOS App Store.